but it's definitely not the Hartford like it was before.
Still going to Hartford,
So,
even though
you know
they
what?
canceled us.
But just because the name is familiar doesn't mean that that person hasn't moved
You know what,
from
Cliff?
one company to another.
No, Burns and Wilcox is the company.
Oh, you're saying that name is
Yeah.
familiar. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind then.
It is. Cliff, tell you what. Let's deal with this on Monday. I'll call you and let you know who the check should be made out to. Okay. What
Okay.
should we say? Okay. Down to the executive committee. Okay. We need to, per the bylaws, appoint a nominating committee for our annual meeting, which will take place one day next month. And last year, Nick, Dave Vernilles, and myself were on the committee, so we need at least 3 people who might be willing to do this. I'm willing to help again. Is anybody else?
I am.
Nick is willing to.
I guess I am.
Oh my God, we got a re-up.
Okay.
Pressure.
I tried to give everybody a
Pressure.
It's fine. I mean, basically, all it encompasses is calling people to see if they want to run for vice president or vice president, and if they're continuing to remain on the board. That's all it encompasses. And then I'll send out a list to you guys to make calls, okay?
Okay.
All right. So that's Nick, Dave, and myself who are on the nominating committee. Then the next thing we need to do is a date for the annual meeting. And I think per the bylaws, because we never changed it, we need to have this meeting by the
24th.
third Wednesday? By what day?
By the 24th of
By the 24th.
September.
September.
My memory serves, it has to be by the third Thursday of the month.
Yes, I think you're right.
You know what? My mistake. That'd be the 17th. Third
shit.
Thursday of the month.
Something about the third week in September.
Yeah, and
Oh, you're right.
that is the 17th would be the drop dead day.
All right, so what if we did it on, what is this day, Wednesday?
16th, yeah.
Wednesday the 16th. And last year we did it at the restaurant, but I'm pretty sure we won't be able to do that. So what if we just
Be out of town.
do it, what's that?
No. Yeah, we will.
What's that?
Yeah, he's got a proposal to do our retreat, which will come up here on the agenda. That. So what if we? What if we?
We can always have the annual meeting any day prior to that.
Yeah, so that would bump it. If we were to do it on a Wednesday, that would.
We wouldn't have to do it on a Wednesday.
Right. But I just say if we were to do that, then bumping it up a week would put it on the 9th, which would be a week after our September board meeting, a formal September board meeting, which is a kind of an organizational thing for the election meeting anyway. So
I'm just looking.
bingo, good catch. Yeah, I won't be here.
You won't be here on the 9th?
Oh, I will be, just not following Wednesday.
Okay. Okay, so what if we did it on September the 9th? Anybody have any opposition to that? Well, we could do it here and we could bring some food in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good luck finding a restaurant that will take more than 10 people.
No, I wouldn't even think of,
Well, and Red Robin's not going to do that. Even with that big room, that's not going to work.
well, I
for
wouldn't
them.
feel comfortable doing that. anyway.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not even sure that room is adequately ventilated. So you were in there. Yeah.
Okay, so, would someone mind making a motion to that effect?
You're the one that poked it.
I'm doing the next one.
Oh, that's true. I make a motion that we do our annual meeting the week after our regular board meeting on the 9th of September at 7 o'clock here, and that we have food high quality food to make up for the fact that we're not, you know, and beer.
Here, who said that?
I did.
I'll second that.
Well, no, it's an election meeting, so we did that last year. So that we do food and at least beer or something that day.
You sure you want it at 7 or do you want it a little earlier?
I think we should,
Earlier, see, people work. You and I don't
realize
work.
that, but
You and I don't work, but just
mean,
trying to.
we could
Daylight.
make 7 o'clock work, but, I mean, it's not like it's gonna be a really long meeting.
well, normally we have them at 6 or 6:30, so.
Right,
That's
well,
been
that's
our
because we
normal.
go to the restaurant. and we
Yeah,
eat.
and there's all that.
I mean, and we could do that, we could do it at like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
I'll
Have
change my
food,
motion if we
eat,
do a straw
No,
poll.
I'm
and
just
then do
questioning.
the
No, no, no.
meeting.
We're
I'm
good.
not
Right, Steve.
saying that it has to be, just question.
How many people would rather do it at just, you only get one choice, 6, 6:30 or 7? 6 o'clock, raise your hand. How many people want to do it at 6? There's 2. How many people want to do it at 6:30? There's 3. How many people? 4. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss you. How many people want to do it at 7? I'm the only one.
I would do it at 7. I'll do it at any time. It sounds like
6:30's got it. I
6:30 's
changed my
compromise.
motion to be 6:30. Other than that, same thing.
Okay, I'll still second that.
Okay? Thank you.
All right, and I'll take care of the food. Okay. All right. Next thing up on the agenda is April 9th with the proposal to do a retreat on Sunday.
They will be up at Flaming Gorge starting the 10th, but I think it's the weekend following that, which is Friday, Saturday.
18th and 18th.
It's
18th and
18th, 19th, and 20th.
So I propose that we have a retreat at my location in Manila, that second weekend,
19th,
19th.
18th, 19th, and 20th.
And for all those that are interested, going fishing, generally having a good time.
gas station close to Manila?
The gas station is open.
Well, it wasn't the other day.
It was.
Hey, there's
Was
been
the
quite a
open-
few
What were you
people
doing in
upset
Manila?
Because Manila,
Did they run out of gas again?
Again.
the station totally shut down.
Well, you can go to the hub though, right?
So Brownings has been open all summer. We got the Gorge now is what we call it. It's an old villa. That's been open on the weekends.
It's not that big a deal to get gas ahead of
No,
time.
no, no. So the question though is
But
if
they
we
may close it down.
if we're gonna do motel, so what's open motel wise?
So that our
Otherwise,
hideout,
it'd be tent.
Brownings, hotels. I believe there's a KLA up and that's been
Yeah.
open. And I think there's another little strip hotel. I don't know the name of that one. I mean, there's several right there.
Sorry to stop things.
No, we're good.
It was something that came up.
Sure.
Because there were several people that went to Manila and couldn't get gas.
I was there for 10 days 2 weeks ago and we had no problem.
This has been within the last week.
So we can definitely check on that. Hopefully they would have something figured out by then.
Well, yeah.
So again, straw poll. How many people would be willing to go all vacation? Oh my God, it's a great. We did it once before, even though our sponsor, if you will, was not there. We had a great time. You were there. What'd you think?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. And getting out of town to drive, up through Wyoming and down to his place is unbelievable. If you've never done that drive, I'm trying to sell it now. And then the wildlife, everything from the antelope to the deer and bighorn sheep and big buck deer. Oh my God. I saw the biggest buck on that road. So anyway, it's just a great opportunity. So who would be interested in a 3-day, 2-day weekend vacation to Flaming Gorge? Raise your hands. We at least have a feel. Dave and I at least have a feel for.
Denny would be there. So I got to hunt the weekend before, so I'll be chasing the antelope.
That's the 18th, 19th. That's the 18th to 19th.
Casey, you're interested?
I am. Yeah, I'll be there.
I'm kind of against vacation.
There's you and your woman, right? Those that have been there, there's
Maybe.
room on the property. For
Yeah,
both.
if she could get it off.
There's gonna be room on this case property.
Yeah.
I guess I had an acre with both houses.
Right?
Steve, you could even drive your.
I hate
Mini
this on
just
my
park
face.
there. There's plenty of room.
Yeah. And so that begets the next question. What about we did last time? What about we support people in a motel room for 1 or 2 nights? I think that that's the right thing to do, especially for a retreat.
If you're gonna do that, the bill has to be in before the end of the month.
But then we'd have to have RSVP stuff. Yeah, right. Why would it have to be in?
End of our fiscal year. I gotta have the paperwork. It has to be
Well, it just
applied.
gets folded into the next year. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We got to finish this year out.
I know.
No.
I know. But so I'll hold the bill. I'll hold the bill. So on that note, unless you got a camper or you're willing to tent it, how many people would be interested in a motel room
This is the third. Oh,
in Manila?
am I looking for something? I just picked this up.
That's different.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, nice try. Raise your hand if you're interested in a motel room. You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
we
You
done
did that
last time.
before.
That's what we done last time.
Yeah, I know, and it worked out great. In fact, we got to hang out in the motel room. Can't go to the bar, but you can go to the motel room, right? We don't know by
They
then.
would blow to you.
Okay. So, yeah.
We're not going to need a motel room, but I am not against the club paying for our outing to be funded by the club. So I have no problem picking up the bill.
Sound like a motion.
So that sounds like a second to the motion you already made.
Oh, who made the motion? You did, John.
Almost in there.
I love you. We gotta move along. Rotate.
Okay, so the motion, I'm sorry, I want to make sure I understood this. The
We
motion
support whoever's gonna go.
for who's never gonna go and pay for motel room.
Yep.
Minus booze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, John.
You gotta fend yourself there.
Bring your own.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Or catch an antelope.
That's fine.
Or eat part of his antelope. I'm just saying.
Carry my
It happens.
I've got a cabinet full.
Okay, there's a motion, and a second on the floor, motion made by John, seconded by Steve, to do this for, September 18, 1920, Flaming Gorge, Amelia's property, et cetera, et cetera, support the board members who want to go, until that's what the board requires. Okay, any more discussion on the motion?
It's raining.
Told you it was gonna
Okay,
rain,
all
man.
those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? One abstention. Okay, can I say one thing? I think that the only hotel space we should pay for is the board members. Okay?
Yeah, because last time we supported your people, remember? In a room. Yeah, I agree.
That's fine.
I'll change my motion to that. Or I mean, you're gonna change your motion to that?
Oh, no, I
motion's already been.
Oh, it's already been passed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I just wanted, I should have said that during the discussion. Anyway, so Danny, are you gonna send out all the information,
Yeah.
instructions?
Well, I'll work with Dave to do that. Same way I worked with John for this trip.
And then we need to let, Jeff Bruner know, because he may be interested in coming up,
Oh yeah.
and, maybe even Brock up for it. I don't know why you should mention Jeff's office,
Unless it was his idea.
Okay, next, finance committee.
Nothing new. I didn't check on the website, see how it goes.
But nothing really changed.
But there is one thing, and I don't think I see it. There is one thing I don't see it here. We've got money. We've got to get spent by the end of September. Okay, I didn't see that.
Oh, just said, so we can get alcohol afterwards instead of just the hotel room because we've got to spend this money. I mean,
Well,
it's a risk I'm prepared to
unfortunately,
take.
I don't think we can swing the alcohol in our.
Remind me approximately how much money you're suggesting.
Well, we need to spend somewhere around between 5,000 and 6,000.
Yeah, you said 5 last time.
Yeah, but that kind of rolling depending on where we end up by the end of the year.
Well, I've got a proposal. He's got a proposal.
Okay.
He's got a proposal. I got work, though.
Make motion, Adrian.
Is that a funnel? Is that a phone cloud?
Hey Casey, don't blow away. Ooh.
You turned in your face.
Okay, so, on to the media outreach. Casey,
I'm getting together with Nick this Friday to talk about Instagram stuff. I think Nick will be better suited to post pictures every day. He already does. Facebook is pretty slow right now. None of you are sending me pictures. And then I'll still have to come over one night and just talk about Third Son with you. Right? We haven't heard anything back from them.
no, because they're waiting on us. They're
Just for the
waiting on
Instagram account.
Danny to send them a logo.
I did. Oh, right.
But the,
Anyway, send the logo, and we need to finish up that grants form,
oh yeah, the grants.
the grants form for sure, and then some pictures.
But I could still come over one night and we could.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah. One other thing about media and outreach, maybe I'll throw in the swag idea. We mentioned cups maybe as something we could give away at the 100-year party. Frosted mugs was the idea. I just figured I would bring this from home. I really like these. This is just another idea, like a double insulated metal, cup. These are kind of
right,
nice.
that's rather nice.
Just a thought. Yeah, that's just a thought. I could get, huh?
With our logo on it?
Yeah, with our logo on it, which I actually have some draft logos. I couldn't get my printer to work before I came here. I could show you guys all a picture of what I think could be a logo that goes on here. It's basically the old headliner, kind of cut in half. I showed it to Dan, but
Well, what's wrong with our logo?
it'd be too wide to be.
Oh no, that's the letterhead.
Right, that's
No,
what
the
I've done is
logo
cut the letterhead.
vertical. The logo is vertical.
The one you sent me, yeah, that's within the draft. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'll show you pictures. I'll walk
All right,
it around
great.
at the end, but
And that's going to be a little bit more unit cost. Probably going to be more than a glass, isn't it? A little bit more.
yeah, I could just get quotes and we could think and decide, and
Well,
it's just an idea.
No,
So
it's great
If
idea.
we could get it done before this year's over, it
That's
could
what
be
Cliff is
beneficial
saying.
to our.
yeah. I mean, I got companies and I got basic prices right now, but then it'd require sending a logo to get an official quote type stuff. So
So if we could
Do you
pack
have an
that in-
approximate quote?
I had it written down last
It
time
blew away.
at our boards committee. It was like $1 to $2 per cup, basically. I think it was
For what quantity?
like 300 plus,
Oh, yeah, perfect.
That's perfect. It's
something
bright.
like that. Yeah,
That's the bright.
I could look it up again, but it was more for the 100-year meeting that I had those numbers. So,
Oh, those are nice.
Well, that's about.
So we could be ready by the September the 2nd for our board meeting, right?
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it for media outreach. Send me pictures, people.
You always say that.
I've been doing it. I've been stuck in my house. It's not exciting.
All you people with iPhones,
You could just steal mine. I post one every day.
Annual Word Anniversary Archives. Okay, we did go on the site visits, and I'm sorry you guys couldn't come. But Danny, myself, Casey, and Jeff Salt and Jeff Bruno, the only people who went to all the venues were myself, Danny, and Jeff Salt. And Danny did put together a ranking sheet that will help us in determining what to do. But let me start with the Natural History Museum. It was actually pretty impressive. It's a lot of space. And in fact, in some ways it was probably too much space because of the way it was laid out. I mean, everybody's been to the Natural History Museum, right? You know that big foyer area where they have like the little cafeteria, the lunch area? It's that area there. And then we'd also have access to the balcony, which faces west. So depending on when you did it, that could or could not be beneficial and useful. And then the second one we visited was the Red Butte Garden. And Red Butte Garden is really nice. And it would work if we could definitely do it indoor and outdoor, but if it should rain, indoor wouldn't cut it at all. Because there's only like 150 people that they can put in the indoor space. So that does have its limitations, at least I think so. And then we went to the Marriott Hotel. And obviously the Marriott probably would work. They have plenty of space. They do their own catering right there, but it's a hotel. Okay? And I don't know how many of you have been to conventions or meetings or things at hotels, but I think it's pretty darn sterile.
Oh, absolutely. They're always sterile. They have to be. Everything's the same. But one hotel, one part of the country to another, it's all the same inside.
And the best thing it had going for it was you could walk outside and they had a little lawn area, and they have some local deer that come into the lawn area. And we saw a couple of them, so that's probably the best thing the hotel had going for it.
that was it.
And then the next day we went to the Garden Place, which is this is the Place Heritage Park across from the zoo. And that venue was actually much more impressive than I remember it being. And it would work for all our needs. It has a huge indoor area. It has audio visual. It has a kitchen for the caterers. It has 2 outdoor patio areas. And there's plenty of parking. Well, at the other 2 venues, 3 venues, there was plenty of parking also. also. And so that was really an impressive venue. And then we went to Tracy Aviator. And, sorry, my contacts didn't crack. Tracy would work, actually all the venues would work in one way or another for us. And Tracy has the outdoor area, which is nice. And then if we use the Chase Mill, we can use all 3 levels. But to be honest with you, when we were there, they were doing some cleanup and some stuff, and it really didn't look very good. And so when a place doesn't look good when you go to visit it, it doesn't necessarily leave a good impression. But Tracy has some positives about it. They have a little amphitheater area. We have access to the aviator for people to go and wander through see the birds and stuff.
Without a beer.
Without a beer, no alcohol in the bird area. You don't want the birds getting drunk. That's what they said, not me.
I know, it's funny.
And so anyway, those are the sites that we visited. So Danny, you want to go through the rankings?
Well, yeah, so I called everybody and got their kind of their perspective on their values, and then what we did is we took the scores that the people that visited the sites came up with, and then we just multiplied those 2 scores together to get these scores right here. And I ranked them so they're from high to low. They're from Heritage Park all the way down to Red Butte Gardens, and then on the very, very bottom is the difference between the one adjacent to it. And so from Heritage Park, which averaged out 158 to 146, was about 12. So the difference was pretty big between those 2. And then the differences on down were not that big until you get to Red Butte Gardens, and then that's out, you know. So this probably, I envisioned this being more valuable to exclude things that we would look at, because Karen put together the spreadsheet, which is that,
This right here.
yeah.
And actually, Christy helped with this. Too.
Yeah, right. And so to narrow the field, I thought that this would be really valuable. I don't want to leave, even though it says not available. Jeff Salt kind of, no surprise, kind of jammed us. But then he called at the last minute while we were driving.
No, he sent me a text before I left the house.
Oh, okay. As we were leaving the house, and so he sent her just the raw numbers that he had, and just so that you know, his number 1 choice, which some of us may know, was the Marriott Hotel. Yeah, I think it's because he has connections there, or had connections there. And then his second choice was the Garden Place, the first column, and then on down. And then on down.
So I just want to know, have any of you guys been to the Garden Place? That this is the place. It's a great big huge building. You didn't bring the pictures of it, did you? You took some pictures.
I could have, but how would you show them? Like what, on a projector screen?
Anyway, if you go to their website and you take a look, it's a really, really nice place.
I've been to This Is the Place, and I can't think of where.
It's up on the hill, huge parking lot that wraps all the way around it, so access is incredible, even for wheelchair people. And it's 1 room, but they've got this huge concrete balcony area that's in the shade on the north side, and all you can see out the back is the Wasatch. There's nothing between that. This is the Place Monument, right? And so there's nothing between that and where I used to hunt deer with my bow. Right there, immediately behind it, is just the Wasatch. And so it's pretty close to nature, but the facility, I think everybody who went to that, you didn't get to see it, Casey, but everybody who went to that was just really impressed with not only the space, but all the stuff that they could provide.
Yeah, they do. They have really, really great audio. There's speakers in the ceiling. They have visual. They have everything. The only thing that might be a drawback, and Jeff Bruner asked about this, and I'm curious too, because I wear hearing aids too, is that when we were there was a lot of echoing because it was a big, huge building with really high ceilings. And so for people who have a hard time hearing when there's a lot of background noise, that might be an issue.
But again, they've got speakers too wide all the way down to take care of that. All the way down on the
So, I
ceiling.
mean, that was the only real issue.
And it's
I
really
saw.
high ceiling too. It's probably 50 feet high inside. Who else has been there? Have you been there? You have. What event did you go to, John?
It's a wedding. It was a wedding.
Must have been a huge damn wedding.
Who wants to see pictures? I
Oh.
pulled it up.
It was huge.
Huge. Big fireplace.
I don't know if they
Entrances
rented
above
the
that.
total space, but
Entrances on the sides.
yeah.
Rooms on the sides for organizing. And it just really was impressive. I was surprised.
So that's
Because originally, you and I, Christy, we were all over the Chase Mill, you know. But once we scored this, and once we started seeing these other venues, wow. Yeah, I changed my.
Well, I don't really have a problem with any of them apart from the Marriott because it's corporate.
It is.
Yeah,
we're not a corporate outfit,
Yeah.
so I just don't want to give money to
For him, showing
a
everybody
national
the-
chain.
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
things are vaguely Utah specific, and
Support the locals, man.
we're a local organisation, aren't we? We're not a corporate organisation, so yeah. So I mean,
You've seen
like
it?
you said, hotels
No.
are sterile.
Nice.
I just, yeah, I know that's.
It looks
I mean,
really
I
nice.
would go to
That
any
would
of
be
these
fun.
places, but the Marriott is definitely way
Right.
down.
I
So
agree.
when you do the garden, can you walk around the grounds? Is
Yeah,
that-
all the way around.
They,
It's just
they actually
wide
have
open.
an option where we can pay an additional like $250, and they'll take people on a little train tour of the park.
Yeah, that's what. So that at this wedding,
Is that what you did?
I didn't do it, but all the kids were taking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rides
so
on the
they do
train.
that for like 2 hours or something, so it's kind of fun.
Oh, that's fun. I mean, that's
I'm really surprised they let you serve alcohol though.
Yeah, we were too. But
mean,
it
I
was
would-
no
I would-
problem. Okay,
yeah.
so time out. So the LDS Church, sorry, the LDS Church is famous for alcohol. What?
But you know what?
they can
It's
make
not
money.
run
'Cause
by
they're
the
making
church.
money.
Called Applejack.
It's it's a non-profit, and
Yeah.
the state might manage it, but I think they've, at least for the venues that they rent out, those are done by private contractors, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And they have their
Interesting.
preferred list of caterers, which would include the, the bartender and all that. So.
No, I mean, I'm
think
not.
another-
I've been to this place mostly. I've been for the Christmas. The only
It's
time I've been there is
nice.
for the Christmas fair. It's a great place. I was just turned off because I thought, LDS and no alcohol, no fun
Not
zone.
even.
But no, obviously that's not the
Not
case.
even. I was very impressed.
So no,
with
I have
that
no.
part.
That changes things a bit. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I was a little bit.
One thing that is, like all the venues except for Tracy, include the tables and chairs. They do all the setup and takedown.
Okay.
At Tracy, that's not the case.
And that adds up. I did add it up.
Oh, did ya?
Totally
Oh,
can add
that's
up.
a total, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that the garden place didn't do was the linens. And depending on what caterer you use, they provide the linens.
Yeah.
So that
You don't wanna
in
do that.
itself isn't a problem. So, anyway, I mean, I don't know if we really want to make a decision tonight because I think there's other things that the board needs to think about. Even though all these places could probably, accommodate how many people we're going to do, we still haven't decided who we're going to invite. And by who, I mean agencies,
Other nonprofits.
other nonprofits,
Yeah.
people we've worked with in the past board members, past members. And I know in the first planning committee when we talked, we kind of informally agreed to that, but we did actually say, yeah, that's what we would do. And just so you know, Jeff Salt keeps throwing out his idea that we should be inviting people who could possibly be big donors to our organization. But I don't think that's where, at least that's not where Danny and I are coming from. That's not how we envision this. I always envisioned this as being just a celebration of the organization and not as a fundraiser. Steve?
I, for one, am agreeing with you that it is for a celebration, definitely not for a fundraiser. And if we start concentrating on doing a fundraiser, it's going to wipe everything out.
That's what we did for the 75th anniversary. Remember that, Cliff? Oh my God. It about killed the entire organization because we treated it as a fundraiser.
Yep.
Oh, huge mistake. Nightmare.
So, anyway, I know Christy works with a lot of nonprofits. We're kind of different in that way because we don't fundraise. And
Yeah,
mostly we give
we
away
could.
small little grants and things instead of millions of dollars, right? And so anyway, that's how I envisioned it. So I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts about that.
I feel the same.
Well, the only thing I was to agree, essentially. Yeah, I don't have a lot to agree with you.
Since you poked me, so, and the reason I did this thing, right, was to try to at least attempt to eliminate somebody, or one or the other. What do you think about that, Christy? Just bottom up it. How far we go from the bottom up to narrow the evaluation of prices and.
Oh, by the way, what did go wrong with Red Butte? Why is it? What Red Butte Gardens is at the bottom?
I can't speak for the other people. I can speak for myself.
Oh, no, I'm just
Casey
curious.
was there.
Okay, yeah.
The room itself couldn't hold everybody.
Oh.
That's number one. We went to a wedding there also, John. And it was great for a wedding. That's why I was asking how big was the wedding. But it was great for a wedding because we could go out into the garden and do that stuff. It's kind of like Tracy Aviary, where you can get out with the birds and stuff. And
Yes.
that garden is great that way. But in terms of audio visual,
I
in
see,
terms
okay.
of, it would have worked for a bartender because we could stick them outside unless it rained. Unless
Okay.
it rained.
Which is the same problem you're going to have with Tracy Aviary. It's weather dependent,
Right.
for sure.
Well,
So-
no, Tracy Aviary has a bar inside. I mean that's
But for the same amount of people, it's
Yeah.
about the same amount of people
Maybe
inside
less.
of both venues.
Yes, you're
maybe less,
absolutely right.
maybe less. And so that's my evaluation is
Okay.
that
I just can't believe it. I can't believe you got pipped to the post by Marriott.
it's not
so
the
disappointed.
well,
Red Butte is actually very impressive,
Yes.
okay?
Right.
in its own right.
But I mean, if you were just having a stand-up reception where we weren't having a sit-down dinner, I mean, that's how I envision this, okay, as at least a semi-formal sit-down dinner, then it would probably work. But to have an actual formal sit-down dinner, I just don't see it.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Good to know.
So back to my suggestion, so we can move ahead. My God, we just can't keep dragging our feet on this kind of stuff. So really, in my view, it's just a matter of where we cut this off at the bottom, and who makes it in the last, who makes it in the.
We had 5.
We had 5, and if we could cut it to, even if we could just agree on one, I wouldn't even care. But
I would say drop the bottom 2.
Yeah, drop the
yeah,
bottom
and
two.
that's what I would recommend too. What do you
I
think,
make
Nick?
a motion, we drop the bottom 2.
I'll second that
Oh
motion.
my God.
But if that's the case, we should probably, well, never mind. Drop the